Near the summit of Mauna Kea, the highest point on the island of Hawaii, sits one of mankind's crown jewels of science's intellect. It's called the Keck Observatory, and it's one of the most advanced telescopes in use in the world today. Some of the brightest minds in science and astronomy relentlessly scour the heavens in search for answers to our origin and to solidify their theories that all of this came about from a random Big Bang. Over the last 40 years, scientists have discovered what they've deemed as exoplanets. These extrasolar planets have their own orbits around their own sun-like stars. Thousands have been found, with purported billions awaiting discovery. Years of observation, testing, and theories performed by those of the very highest intellect, accolades of man's learned knowledge, feverishly struggle to understand why Earth is the only habitable space among the billions of similar planets. The more they research, the more they discover the rarity and the preciseness of atmosphere, elements, and balance that holds our known world together in perfect order to sustain life. The great minds of science are perpetually perplexed at the why and the how. Earth is the only planet of its kind. The statistical improbability that 1 in billions would be designed so perfectly keeps scientists bewildered and searching for answers. You know, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. I've read that knowledge is the facts that you get from study, research, and observation. Wisdom, on the other hand, is the ability to determine which aspects of that knowledge are true, right, lasting, and applicable to your life. Wisdom discerns the truth. This morning, over 3,800 miles away from that observatory in Hawaii, in a small hospital room in Lufkin, Texas, lies a frail body with the soul of a prayer warrior, a heart full of love for her family and friends, and a testament to a life well lived, full of wisdom that still eludes science's greatest minds. For you see, she tapped in to the wisdom and treasures of a walk with the Master at an early age and has never departed. Today, as we honor our mothers, we're highlighting the wisdom in our mothers' mouths. Life's mortality comes to us all. In recent years, it's robbed my mother's ability to speak or understand. But amidst the symptoms of the disease that has ravaged her mind, her faith is strong and unshaken. Those of you that knew her deep love for her family and for everyone that she met, her immense joy in all things Christ. She nurtured, she loved, she taught, and she knew, just like many other mothers here today, how to touch the throne of God for her family. I'd like to say, selfishly, that she was the best mother to ever walk the earth. And in my mind, you couldn't prove me wrong, because I'd be right. What I'd rather say is she comes from a long line of Proverbs 31 women. There exist still many among us, maybe less today than in times past, but there is still a remnant of righteous women and mothers. And as the Lord tarries, they'll continue to raise up a standard against those forces that come against all that they love in quiet prayer rooms and places that many of us will never see. My mother physically wasn't as big as a minute, but she was a spiritual giant. Her demise was frontal lobe atrophy with aphasia, dementia, robbing her ability to talk. Dad recounts there toward the end. She was laying in bed one night, sleeping, and he heard her what he thought was moaning in the night. And he was a relentless caregiver by her side over those years of degradation of her body and mind. As he was listening to her, the moaning got a little louder, and he realized it wasn't moaning. She really couldn't form words anymore at that stage. She could still say, "I love you," and "I love you, Jesus," and maybe nod her head, but that's about all that she could communicate. But as he lay there listening in the still of the night, he realized she was praying. He didn't wake her. He just laid there and took it all in. Although she wasn't cognizantly in her lucid mind, she was praying because she knew where her strength came from, even as that disease robbed her of her capacity. Mom, you aren't here. Sitting next to Dad among people that you truly loved. But let eternity record that through all the years of prayer, as your heart cried for your little family to never lose their walk with God, so that we could all be together in eternity one day. Mom, your children have listened to the words that you can no longer speak. The message has hit our heart. You're ahead of us. We may have strayed along the way, but your words of wisdom rings in our ears. The anchor holds. Mom, we're home.